Hoi, it's louisity again, and for this video I'm going to be doing again the second part of book recommendations to Twice members. Hoorah! So I'll be putting down the link of the first part in the description box below, so feel free to check it out. And let's begin recommending for the other members of Twice. Diane is known for being polite towards staff members, and I thought about, a book that deals with ordinary people, and I want to lean into something a little bit more adult for her. And it is a kind of a recent read as of the moment that I'm going to be posting this video and as of the moment that I'm filming this one. And it is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. Now this was our book of the month for BLouRay Book Club in August 2021, and I really enjoyed it. Nothing really groundbreaking or shattering, but I love the whole concept of of how it discussed and it made you thought and provoked thoughts on the narrative, because it is about there was this guy who serves as an email auditor, and then there were two employees, and then the guy falls in love with one of the girls based on the emails that they've been exchanging towards each other. So that is kind of an interesting concept, and people may have different reactions towards that, but overall, in terms of a reading experience, I liked it. It's a very interesting story, even if it's not necessarily something that has a lot of rising, falling action and all that stuff. Still an enjoyable read. Good contemporary adult one. It reminded me of some of the books that I've read that are set in the office. Sometimes I do feel there's a bit of Daniel Steele vibes to it, which is awesome. For Chewy, I've thought about dogs, and I'm going to recommend her a book that I read for BLouRay Book Club, and that would be Take Me Home Tonight by Morgan Matson. Now, this book, of course, talks about two friends who just suddenly got lost in New York City because there were a lot of things and circumstances that happened. Apartment got locked, they got separated along the way, and then who knows what happens next. And the dog is sweet, and I think Chewy is gonna feel good, or she's going to, of course, feel happy, or it's going to give her good vibes when she's reading these scenes. And, it's a story that deals with friendship, so it could be a light read if you are going for stories about friendship. I just want Jonghyun to read something light, something, easy breezy, something's gonna brighten up her day. Now, Jonghyun is one of my bias in Twice, and she's my favorite during the I Can't Stop Me era, even if she wasn't performing live during the music shows and the award shows. That year was during those times, the award shows and of course the weekly music shows in South Korea. And I really love her last chorus, that last chorus of I Can't Stop Me. That song brought me into being a once. I really loved it. I love the dance. Anyway, so I'm going to be recommending Jonghyun Lover's Dictionary. I find its format very interesting because there's a word that is related to love, and there's some sort of a prose or a free verse poem that is written in each word. Kind of it defines the word and how it is related to love or towards a lover, and it's written in the form of some sort of a free verse poem or a short prose. And I find it interesting. It's describe, let's say, love, and it brings you a story, a short narrative, a short prose, or a short, free verse poem. And it's a quick read, and hopefully it's going to brighten up Jonghyun's day. And last, but definitely not the least, another bias of mine, pretty girl, cute girl, Jihyo, oh my gosh, the leader of Twice, and she's the epitome of like a strong woman, you know, and I think that as a strong woman, she would be able to appreciate different moods in a novel. And the book that I'm going to be recommending her, and I've recommended this a lot in other videos, and probably, you know, if you've been watching my videos, you probably have seen this, but I just would love folks to recommend this book, and that is Danielle Steele's Kaleidoscope. And I just mentioned Danielle Steele earlier when I was discussing attachments. So yes, a story of course, if you haven't heard, the three sisters that, you know, they were in a family that involved like a couple where there was like some sort of toxic, you know, it was indeed toxic, the relationship was. And you know, just a warning, it's kind of a grim, dark, like in the beginning, because it deals first with the struggles of the family itself, and of course the older sister Hillary. So there's some trigger warnings about, you know, harm, you know, of course some assault as well. So there's a little bit of a warning during the first parts, and yeah, and of course some, you know, violence as well. That's also another thing that I need to warn you about. But you know, overall this story is very like still beautiful, because it shows about how, you know, what happened to these sisters, and will they ever see each other and, you know, have a bond, you know, and kind of like empathize towards each other and sympathize and, you know, be a loving, you know, group of siblings, you know. So I definitely think that Jihyo, being the strong woman that she is, she'd be able to pull through, and not just like simply pull through, but she's going to, you know, digest the story, and she's gonna feel the emotions of it. She's got get the feels. Oh, I just kind of like made that up. But anyway, so yeah, I really recommend this book to anyone who is up for it. Feel free to comment down below, what books are you going to be recommending? Diane, Chui, Jonghyun, and Jihyo, or if you've read any of the books that I mentioned in the video. Okay, and I hope you enjoyed this one, the second part. Now, who knows, in the future I'll be creating another set of book recommendations to Twice members. Gotta read more. So if you've made it this far, you better leave like a hot chili emoji, because we're gonna go hot sauce gonna dip that, eh? So if you folks like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon so we're down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And I'll also be putting down links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. As always, thank you super much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye y'all.